Facebook. You guys are listening into our private conversation, and that's okay.
That's
Here
right.
he is, the man. He's not a myth. He is a legend. Yeah, baby. We got him. We got Jordan Jackson. Yes.
Yes, yes.
On the
Hello, hello.
Yeah, he just got done watching the Laker game. Woo!
We
Yeah.
lost.
Oh, well, at least they didn't lose to my Portland Trailblazers. Shout
True.
out.
The
Yeah.
Trailblazers are good too.
Yeah, we got Damian Lillard. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you hear a couple years ago how his brother was gunned down in a parking lot because they thought it was
Yeah.
crazy town? I had to get out of there. They can keep it
Man.
weird without me.
Exactly.
They know how to do it. They're doing a fine job lately.
Right.
So Jordan Jackson has been on tour for 3 years with Kountry Wayne, you guys. Kountry Wayne, yeah. And he's been in several movies. A couple to mention would be Comedy Camp and The Elizabeth Cooper Show. Have you been in them? I don't think so. So he's also had several TV appearances. He's got a comedy album, and it's called Who is Jordan Jackson? I Do Believe.
That is correct.
Phew, I hate to fight with Jordan Jackson, but I will. His comedy album is on all platforms except my hooker heels. They're in my closet safely. He even has an app called Jordan Jackson Comedy. He has his own app. Are you kidding me? I barely know what an app is. I thought Instagram was when you went to a party and scored Coke. What do I know? He's got 2 movies on Amazon Prime. Do you? Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe some of you do. He's got Skimmers with a Z on the end of it. Swipe Club. Those are his 2 movies. He's on Facebook and Instagram as Who is Jordan Jackson? And that's about all I have to say. Let's get to know him. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the stage, Jordan Jackson. Woo! Hi.
Hello.
Hi there. Nice to meet you in person like this.
Yes, you too as well. I'm so happy. So glad that you decided to have me on your show. I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Where were you born and raised?
In Upland, California.
I know that. It's
Yeah.
between LA County and Riverside or San Bernardino.
That is correct.
I have a 44-year-old daughter that lives in Menifee.
Oh, okay.
So I know the road out there. I lived there for 15 years. Yeah. So when in your life did you figure out? I think you came out of the womb cracking jokes.
Pretty much. It's so funny because my whole life, like, people have always told me, like, you missed your calling. I never thought I would actually be doing stand-up or even acting. I just was always just naturally funny being myself. And I could literally, no matter what the situation is, just have people in tears. And I decided to do it one day. I took a writing class, and for my graduation, I had to do stand-up. I killed it. I killed my first show. The professor comes up to me and he says, you have something that the rest of my students don't have, and that's likability. From the time you get on stage, people like you. And he's like, if you stay with it, you'll kill it, because you have it. You have an it factor.
Yes, you do. It comes through in just your photographs, in still pictures. You can see the it factor coming through.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I've watched your videos that you put up. They're hilarious. Oh my gosh. So you took acting in school?
Yes.
At some point, I think it was college, right?
Yes, took acting and drama in college. Took several different classes. I took what's his name? Skips my mind right now, but Alan, can't believe it. But the guy he's on Greenleaf, and he's also on. He's been in a bunch of movies. A real, I think it's like David Allen. No, not David Allen Greer, but
David Allen.
I can't think of it. I can't think of
Forget
his name,
it.
but he's really, really a really great actor, and learned a lot from him. So, I've taken several classes. Dwayne Boyd in Atlanta.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
So he taught you, and say what else you were saying, because that noise bothered me.
Dwayne Boyd in Atlanta, took several classes with him too. Learned a lot in his class too. So
Wonderful.
Greg Allen, that's his name, Greg Allen.
Greg Allen.
Yeah, finally came back to me.
Any relation to Debbie Allen?
I don't know. I just know this guy has been in everything. Like Greg, like you look him up. Got froze on you?
Yeah, but we're good now.
Okay.
It says I'm unstable. I don't know how it found out my psychological issues, but whatever.
Oh, then we're both in trouble then. I'm surprised it's not still stuck.
Tell me about after college, and then you took courses from David Allen and somebody else, you said.
Dwayne Boyd, yeah.
Dwayne Boyd. What did you learn during that time of humbling your natural God-given talent? You humbled it to left brain learning. So
right.
What between God-given talent and left brain learning, what did you learn that you thought, oh, I'll take these, but I don't know. They said that I got a natural gift. What did you learn that you wouldn't have?
I learned a lot because it's funny. Everyone thinks that they can act until you really have to act. And what happens is, as actors, when you're green and you're first starting out, is you'll do a character without putting your natural self in it, and that takes away from the acting. Because if you're just reading the words and just trying to if you want to be really, really good, you have to react how you would really act in that situation, but as the character. And so I learned that through taking courses, because at first, I thought I was just so good, but it took it to another level when you put your natural feelings in it, because it's going to make it more natural. And that's what acting is. It's not just being that character, but being natural.
Okay, thank you. That's very, very articulate. Here's another question for you. So have you noticed, and if so, how have you noticed that acting training has helped you do comedy live performances?
Oh man, a lot. Okay, first of all, it allowed me when I'm writing my jokes to take it to another level, because at first I would just say the jokes instead of adding act outs, instead of connecting to my audience and using the third wall. Sometimes a lot of stuff that I learned, especially also in stage plays. The stage plays helped my stand up a lot, because first of all, in the if you're doing like television or whatever, you get to redo it until it's right. When you're doing a live stage play, you have to improvise. You have to, if something goes wrong, you have to bring it back in the best way that you can. I was really, really good at that. It helped me learn my timing. It helped me learn that in the moment, things could go wrong and you got to be sharp. Throw that improv in there instead of sticking just to the material. So it helped me a lot.
Wow, that's brilliant. Okay, I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. My pet peeve I've been doing comedy 6 years. I'm a veteran. I have a little brain injury, no big deal. And so certain things drive me nuts when people are not clear trying to explain something, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things people dish out like water in comedy is you have to know how to read a room.
Right.
And they never tell you how to do it. So I like to ask people with really good experience like yourself, what do you define reading a room as? How do you do that? What specific things are you reading when you look around a room?
I'm looking for demographic. I'm looking for age. I'm looking for attentiveness. Also looking for the situation of the room. Is it set up? Is it even set up for comedy? How the people reacting to certain material. I always come in, most of the time I'm featuring, sometimes I'm hosting, but if I'm featuring, then I'm watching the host the whole time to see what they're responding to, what they're not responding to. And that's how you read a room. If they're on a certain subject and they're liking that subject, then expand on that rather than just trying to get through your material.
Got it. And that's where improv and acting and thinking on your feet come in too.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to improv. I used to be afraid in the very beginning of silence. Silence is great. That means they're listening. When they're talking, then you're in trouble.
So say you're doing comedy and they're talking. What does we know who Jordan Jackson is now, but what does Jordan Jackson do if you're on stage and they're just chatty Cathys?
Well, it's funny because I've only had to deal with that a couple of times because I make sure the writing is so interesting that you have to pay attention and you want to hear more. But I remember one time there were these 3 ladies that were just talking. And I wasn't doing it good at all, so I can understand why they were talking. But I just went over to the table and I was like, excuse me, ladies, if you guys could please just respect my bomb, then I would appreciate. And they just bust out laughing. I was like, okay, I'm dying out here, but can you respect the bomb, please? You gonna respect my bomb? And it kind of loosened up the whole room because I wasn't doing that well, but I got a huge laugh off of that.
That's hilarious. Don't disrespect a bomb.
Right. Don't disrespect my bomb, man. Come on. I'm dying out here. Let me die with some respect.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sure you've done comedy and there's been a white drunk lady in the audience.
Oh, several times, but it's weird. Is like I'll be on a show where I've noticed that there's a heckler, and a lot of my comedy buddies tell me the same thing. They're like, well, you have that likability to where people. I don't have to deal with hecklers. It's very few times that I get heckled because I command your attention so fast that it's like, it's a good guy. I'm gonna let him live. It's just like, it's the weirdest thing because I'll have ammunition ready to go and I never get to use it.
That's a funny joke. That would be so funny. I'm really struggling. I need your help, guys. I've got all this material for a heckler, but I never get them.
Right. I'm like, come on, someone heckle me, please.
It's funny that you even said that. That's cute. Anyway, so you've probably traveled around the entire country.
Yes. I've played every major comedy club that you can think of. You learn something different every time you hit the stage. And comedy is so different from anything else because just when you think you figured it out and you got it, there's always more that you could learn. It's never ending. I opened for Russell Peters one time, and I remember him telling me, he was like, you can only get funnier if you just stick at it. Just go and never give up.
Yes.
You gotta be willing. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to be bad before you're good. And a lot of people give up before they get a chance to get good because you fell down a couple times. Yes.
Some people stick with the same set for 30 years because they're afraid to venture out.
It's tough sometimes, some of these comedy clubs, we went back 4 times. So you got to switch it up. I write every day, but it's hard for me to throw in new material, but I get it done.
So Comic Spot, I love it. I know you've loved it. Let's keep it going. I need your help. I developed it so you out there can get to know comics, whether they're brand new or 45 years in the biz. We're going to get to know them so you'll know who to love. So all I need you to do is donate to my Cash App, and that is Linda Marcus Smith. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, yes. How do you write so that you capture the audience right away? I
Um,
got to tell you that I would say that I write that way, but sometimes I get up on stage and throw something in at the beginning, and it might as well be a throwaway. It's the wrong place to add something at the last minute, you know?
yeah, you don't want to add nothing new unless it's in the middle. So, you know, that's because you know you're gonna have great material in the beginning, great in the end. So just no one ever remembers the middle anyway. People remember what you do when you come out and when you're leaving. Those are facts. If I come out dancing, they love the dance. Sometimes I'll say something about the fact that I look like Jimmy Walker, JJ, and you know that grabs their attention. Sometimes I'll end with that. Sometimes I'll open, but it just depends on the crowd.
Have you ever met Jimmy JJ Walker?
Yes, I have.
And how did that go?
Not as good as I wanted it to.
What a bummer. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
was like, "Wow, how you doing?" I said, "How you doing?" My name is Jordan Jackson. If you got a couple of minutes, I'd like to talk to you. Yeah, let's keep it at a handshake, buddy. I was like, "Okay."
Wow. Do you
Yeah.
think he'd heard of you?
I don't think so. But now that I actually many times I told that story, I think I should have said, "Hey, I'm a comedian. I like to," because you know I'm pretty sure there's so many people that are trying to ask him for stuff and just to trying to
Right.
pitch him something. So I said if I had it all over to do again, I said, "Hey, I'm a young comedian. I just came out, and if I could talk to you for a couple seconds, cool. If not, then." But a lot of people say that it's not they've not had very good experiences with them. So it is what
Yeah.
it is. But it was just crazy how fate is that I'm in Orlando to do a show and we just happen to bump each other at the airport.
That's crazy. I have a similar little crazy story of something stupid. I mean, what you said isn't stupid. I said something now that I look back on it, what the hell was I thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my own town, Portland, Oregon, walking around, and I see Alonzo Bowden walking on my streets in Portland, right?
Wow.
He's like the only black guy in miles, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I noticed him, not that I see color, it's just he was
Right.
the only one. And so
Right.
I said, Alonzo, I said, I'm a baby comic. I met you in California. I met him at Agua Caliente when he was headlining. I said, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm going to be performing at Helium. And I go, awesome. And he goes, but I have to get going right now. I have to write some jokes. And I go, oh, you want my help?
I'm surprised he didn't tell you what he told me when I met him. He was like, it's always good to meet someone who's after your job. I met him in Vegas at the Dirty at 12:30.
Oh, don't you love that place?
Yes, I love it. They had the World Series of Comedy there the year that I was there, and that was my first time. There were so many kids. Ralphie May was there, him and his wife. There's a bunch of comics at the Dirty at 12:30. Have you ever did that one?
I go to it every Friday when they're open. Every
Wow.
Friday. I've been here since December.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that
cool.
place. That's the best show in town.
So where are some of the places to perform in Vegas? I've been out there a couple times, but just some open mics, like with a guy named Charlie something. I can't remember his name, but I haven't been out there in a while. But I do plan on going back once the world reopens again.
There's a lot of casinos, and a lot of the casinos have showrooms that have comedy. Right now, everything's shut down in the casinos. So there are a few shows going on right now in the outlying areas that are not Las Vegas City proper.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's some Manfred Heim shows in Boulder City, and there's something going on in Henderson, and there's like a Dairyland drive-through comedy show where you can honk your horn, which is confusing to me because I'm a boomer, and honk
Right.
used to mean you were horny. So if I go, I'll be so busy all night when they're honking. I'm going from car to car. Kidding.
Hilarious.
Do you want to
That,
keep?
that is a different experience though. Like I don't think I could. I feed off the energy. I can't feed off the energy of horns. I don't think.
No.
But I guess
Yeah.
I would try it, but it would be so different.
Yeah. I'm also, like, I grew up before the Me Too movement, and my self esteem has been low because Nobody can honk at me. I'm
Right. They're
sure.
like, oh no. No
Won't
honk
touch
honk, no
that.
beep beep. Yeah, no beep beep, no nothing. Just
I wouldn't tap that horn or her.
right. Hilarious.
Anyway, back to you. I digress. What are you looking forward to after the pandemic with regard to your comedy, acting, everything?
Well, hopefully, some of the shorts that I've wrote may get picked up. I'm also looking forward to doing a couple more films, um, more collaborations, getting back on the stage because I really miss the stage. I haven't performed in over 4 months, and just really just getting back to life. You know, it's so different right now.
So different. Do you ever plan on since you're an actor and you're a funny man, do you ever plan on doing a one-man show?
I've actually did one before.
You didn't.
Yes, and it was amazing. I had about 165 people showed up, paid for their tickets, and supported. And I was a little ahead of my time because I'd been doing comedy for about 2 years, but they loved it. You know, I had my characters, and now though I wasn't as seasoned as I am with the stand up because my vision was to play my 4 different characters, but to do stand up as those different four characters, to bring myself out and do open up with about 25 minutes of just me doing the stand up, and then having a host bring the rest of the characters out and doing that. And I just think it's going to happen one day, and now it's going to be super, super amazing because I'm ready for it.
Awesome. That's so great. I wrote a one-woman play and didn't research how to do it. So I would it was back when my brain injury was really bad. And I was up there with a notebook flipping pages talking about my life.
Wow.
So bad. Nobody paid. Nobody
But you
paid.
did it.
You
But at
did
least
it.
you did it.
Yeah. Nobody said, when are you going to do another one? I'll tell you that.
Right. But you still that the fact is that you did it, and you know, you learned something from that, and you come back, and there was 4 people at Tyler Perry's first plays for months. So, you know, you got to hang in there and just do your very best. You know, that's what I like about opening for some of the greatest comedians, and they have such great advice. And you know, the veteran comics are way different from the like semi-seasoned comics, what I say right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the seasoned one really want to help you. You know, I've opened for Tommy Davis, and I've opened for there's probably Earthquake.
Wow.
There's so many names I can't even remember all the people that I've opened for, but all of them had great advice. You know, no one's ever worried about you being too funny, and that's what's happening sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's sad, but oh well. They got to they got to look in the mirror themselves and sleep at night. So we can, the thing is that like, no matter what we're doing, if you're self-driven, you're trying to be better at what you do every day.
Exactly.
So let the haters line up, maybe they need to up their game. I don't know.
Right. And the thing is, they're not even mad at you. They're mad at themselves because they can't, if you got, you gotta, talent is a little bit of it, but you gotta have talent and hustle. You're going to be unstoppable if you have that. And that's what I love about moving from California to Atlanta. When I got here, the hustle was already in me because no one's going to give you anything in California. You have got to earn it. And California is different from the South because there's no racism in California. Well, there's social racism. Like broke people are like, stay over here. Rich people are like, get away from us broke people. But people were just, that's all I've ever known. There's no skin color, no nothing in California. It's just, so when I got to the South, that was completely different. But I just noticed here that people do things, but they're kind of passive with it. They're not super aggressive on their dreams.
Wow.
But when I got here, my dream, I was aggressive on it, and I've moved up very, very fast.
Wow, that's great. So if you're out there and you're driven, go to Atlanta.
Go to Atlanta. You can perform 7 nights a week.
Wow. That's crazy good news.
Yeah.
So this is our first pandemic, Jordan. So how in a comedic way would you, let's say you're on stage right now and you're trying to inspire and make people laugh about the pandemic, to hang in there and make it through the rest of it. What would you do to make people forget the nonsense on TV and the nonsense in the world and just have fun and know that they're going to make it?
I think because I have been on stage, I think I would have to be as honest as I could be and say, um, a lot of us, I have to, because I'll have to speak for everyone who can't say what I'm going to say, and I'll just say this: we found out a lot about ourselves in these times, and maybe we didn't like the people that we love as much as we thought. And I'm just talking about my kids for now. You find out things when you're around people longer than you're normally used to being, and that's just a fact. And there's no way you can't laugh at that because it's so true and it's so factual. Yeah. Now, will you say it? No, but you will think it. You will think it.
You know, like people out there have probably changed their mind who their favorite child is.
Yeah, their favorite child, their favorite, because I mean, for a minute, we had to eat different. We had to, everything was different. The pandemic just kind of changed out, and what we thought was important wasn't so important.
That's right. Yeah, some people probably changed their wills, took kids out of their will and put
all kinds of stuff,
neighbors
man.
in.
That's just real, man. Like, I can't get up there and tell a pandemic joke. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I think I speak for everyone when I say there's some readjustments that are gonna be made after the pandemic.
Divorces.
Oh yeah, all that's coming. It's a new, and our lives are changed forever. And I don't know if you do this, but I can't even watch a TV show without going, they're not social distancing.
I know it.
I'm like, when did this come out? Look how close they are. It's like our mindsets are different.
Yes. And they keep confusing me. Like, I just want to talk about how it's so confusing. Like they say social distance, but we're all in this together. Which is it? Make up your minds. Only thing I got in here.
I'm confused. I'm confused. Which one is it?
I have this favorite joke I like to say is that, I'm so confused, like I turn on the news and first thing they do is tell us to go in our rooms and stay home alone. And I'm like, I have flashbacks to a really stupid movie. And then they get on the news and they go, and don't stick your fingers in your orifices. Like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have done that near the TV set. Stupid.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's a total different world, and our whole lives are changed because, and the next question I would ask everyone in the audience, like, how many people were afraid to cough? I mean, you literally have to hold the cough because, if a little one comes out, everyone's looking. You're just like, oh, it wasn't a real cough. It was a little tickle, just a little tickle. You're like, no. Because I have allergies. I have bad allergies. And I was in the UPS store. And I had my mask on, of course, but I was coughing and I couldn't stop coughing. And everyone was looking like. And I was just like, okay, I have nothing. I'm coughing and I have a mask on, but I didn't want to cough.
I have really bad brain injury and PTSD. And when I'm in a bad mood and I'm triggered about anything, like say there's a tweaker that comes too close to me, I just start coughing. They stay the hell away.
I don't get anybody back. I think you can rob a bank with a cough. Put all the money in the bag.
Just put it in the bag. You know that song?
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'm going to do a skit. I think I'm going to do a skit to that. You don't need weapons or anything. I'll cough on you. Give it up.
Don't make me produce phlegm. It's going to be
Right.
extra. I don't want any dye pack. Leave that. Go on and on. I'll help
Right.
you write it. I was a banker.
Yeah.
I'll give you
I
the
got
inside scoop.
Yeah, that works for me.
Well, anyway, is there anything you get as much time as you want right now to just say whatever you'd like to say to people that might tune into this show or podcast? Anything from your heart, anything at all?
Yeah, one thing I can say is no matter how tough things are right now, stay spiritual. Whether, if you don't believe in a higher being, that's fine, but you can still stay spiritual and, stay motivated. Get it. There's so much information out there. Set goals, set smaller goals to get to your bigger goals and never give up and always be an inspiration to people and, and learn as much as you can and pass on that knowledge. Don't be so, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to tell anyone, just like you said, you would help with the stuff, you get blessings by planting those seeds. And, I think a lot of people have a lot of talent and they have a lot of success, but they're not planting seeds and they're not helping anyone. So if I can leave any message, just be a blessing to somebody. That's the message that I say.
Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being Jordan Jackson, the person I've gotten to know here and banter with. And I'm going to post, when we get done, I'm going to go post my personal thoughts as a wrap up with all your links again. And then that'll be out tonight. And then like within 1 to 4 days, my tech guy will make this video look like a sitcom. So it'll have music and credits and the curtains open up and you come out, and I'll send that to you if you'll share it.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much, Jordan Jackson.
Thank
Who
you
is
for
Jordan Jackson on the interweb?
Well, hopefully you found out.
I did. I love you.
I love you too. And I appreciate you for having me on. And make sure we stay in touch. Okay.
And one last thing. I don't have a bell, but if I did, I'd ring it right now because you're officially a graduate of Comic Spot. And that means the benefit. Wait, there's more. The benefit is every month, if you have something to plug, you can come on for 5 to 7 and plug something. I'll fit you in.
All right. Thank you. Love it.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. And go Lakers.
That's right. Have a good night.
Good night. Love you lots.